From the haunted backroads of America, this is your Shadow Nation.
Hey, what's up, Shadow Nation? Welcome back to the mystifying oracle of podcasting. I want to take this opportunity to say special thanks to all our homes, all our sponsors, Stitcher, Smart Radio, Spreaker, The World's Listen. How about you? They want to know, check them out at Spreaker.com. And, of course, our friends over at Creative Zombie Studios. Everything you need for the podcasting world. Be the best. Be creative. CreativeZombie.com. And our good friends at the SWL Project. Give, share. Everybody needs a little love. Check them out, the SWL Project. .org. Anyway, guys, welcome back to studio. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. It's been a cool Christmas. It went so fast, you know. I guess when my dad told me when I was younger, he said, man, when you get old, things are just going to fly by. And he was right. You know, I'm right there in my 40s, early 40s, and it just holiday after holiday, birthday after birthday. Anyway, I don't know, but it's been a heck of a time. We're going to talk a little bit about that and some presents I got for the old wife and some of the family and some conspiracy theories behind some of those presents. Oh, yes, there's plenty of them. But anyway, guys, we got a great show. I don't know about you, but one of my highlights of 2018 was the Netflix series, The Haunting of Hill House. It blew me away, like it did a lot of people, even though they got the shaft at the award ceremonies this year. But it just blew me away. It had everything. Of course, Shirley Jackson's book, The Haunting of Hill House, but it was adapted for Netflix, and it was just done brilliantly, and it had this feel to it, and one of my great times. So tonight's guest I got is special for me. It's going to be special for you. So let's go ahead and say, without further ado, tonight's guest is an American actor and musician. His breakout role was in the Steven Spielberg film, of course, the classic E.T., the Extraterrestrial. Since then, he's never looked back. He's kicking butt on the road with his band or being in the next upcoming series like The Haunting of Hill House. Known for E.T., of course, Legends of the Fall, Cloak and Dagger, Fire in the Sky, and of course, recent smashed Netflix series, The Haunting of Hill House. Shadow Nation, help me welcome Mr. Henry Thomas to studio. Henry, what's up, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, it's a blast, dude. Oh, you're killing it. You're killing it, man. This last October, huh? You come out, Netflix smash series, The Haunting of Hill House. You come out as a young Hugh Crane, and you knocked it out of the ballpark, brother. You knocked it out. How'd you do it, man? How'd it feel filming that?
Well, I appreciate it. I was so excited about the show, and you know, this is more the result of Mike Flanagan, the showrunner and director and writer. You know, he had a vision for this, and you know, he told me about 4 years ago that he was going to hire me on everything that he did, and I kind of rolled my eyes and said, "Sure, thanks, Mike." And then he stupidly he did it. You know? So
I'd hire you
now, you know, I kind of owe this all to Flanagan, but it was a great show to begin with, and you know, we just endeavored to make it the best we could while we worked on it. So I'm really happy that it was such a success and that the fans responded the way that they have. It's been great.
Well, a lot of people are saying the awards, the ceremonies they're crazy this year because they overlooked a lot of the Hill House performance and stuff. It was insane. It had all the votes. It had the numbers. And I even had one of your co-hosts on, Kate Siegel. And, you know, we thought it was going to knock everything out of the park. It should have, man. I mean, if there's any Netflix series that should go to the silver screen, it's the Shirley Jackson adaptation, The Haunting of Hill House. I mean, you guys did it.
Oh, well, you know, I appreciate you saying that. You know, it's still very much a club. I think the awards.
Oh yeah, good old boys club.
The awards, mafia or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm,
you know? Mm-hmm. I think it's rarely about performance. It's more about a corporate stamp. So
right.
You know, they're not going to give it to anything that's labeled horror.
Yeah.
Because it's not technically it's not a performance based genre, so it's going to be overlooked. But I think the cool thing about The Haunting of Hill House was that we sort of broke down some of those barriers in terms of the genre being regarded one way or another. This was a family drama that was wrapped up in a blanket of terror.
Right.
And it was all about the performances.
Right. Well, a lot of people, you're seeing that a lot. Now, I've known you since my childhood. You're like a brother of mine. I've watched everything you've ever done. I've grown up with you. Elizabeth.
Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Thanks,
Elizabeth.
John.
Well, yeah. You want to move in? I got a sleeping bag here in the studio. I need to borrow $50.
I might pick you up on that.
Oh, man. Hey, check this out. I started seeing, like with Ouija, of course, Origin, Elizabeth Reiser, Kate Siegel, a lot of you guys, I started seeing you guys work together in a lot of different projects. And how did all of a sudden, we're talking Legends of the Falls, we're talking E.T. when you were a kid, amazing child actor to adult amazing actor. Now all of a sudden you're kind of thrust into the horror genre, man. That was a fast track on top of the horror. What happened?
Well, it all goes back to the fateful day when I met Mike Flanagan, and they only let him direct horror things right now.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. But, it's fun because it doesn't feel like your everyday sort of genre picture. It's always something interesting with Flanagan. And
oh yeah.
And I'm just I like to work with good people that I have fun with, and it's been a blast, this collaboration with Mike and the whole group. The whole crew are all kind of repeat customers. So
yeah, you guys can see
I've been
that
working with these same people for 5 years, and it's great.
Yeah, well, you can see that comfortable around each other. You're like a family. It comes out on the screen. So, my wife wanted me to ask you, Henry, because when we went to school together, I'll never forget, it was a slow day right before Thanksgiving. And you know how all the elementary schools, middle schools, they would always have like a real slow day right before the holiday. Yeah. So,
right.
Yeah, we were in music class. I slept through it half the time. I shouldn't have, because you're an amazing musician, and all I did was play the flute, and I did that poorly. If I would have paid attention, I could shred on the drums. Yeah, man. But my wife sat right across the room from me. I didn't know it at the time, but I remember the first time I spoke to my wife. I don't know if this is the first time you ever heard one of these. It was watching the VHS tape of E.T. in the music room. The teacher let us watch it. Boy, the whole class. Isn't that something, though, man?
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I could be a part of that memory. I mean, that's fantastic.
That was it. The frog scene gets me hot to this day, man. At the school and we should have been in bio class. Yeah. No, but
Erica Liniak looked like blonde Brooke Shields at the time too. Yeah.
That's it. But you started out. A lot of people think you started with E.T., but of course, you started with the Raggedy Man. Yeah, in 1981. That movie came out. What did you do in that film? I haven't got to see it, unfortunately.
I played Sissy Spacek's oldest son. She has 2 boys in the film, and it's kind of about a switchboard operator in the early 40s in Texas, in rural Texas,
right.
During the war. I grew up in South Texas, and my dad was a trumpet player. He had me in piano lessons. I hated piano. My piano teacher was the musical director of the local theater, and they did educational plays around museums in San Antonio, Texas.
Wow.
And so I kind of segued into being a theater performer at a young age, and in order to get out of my music lessons. And
so you made deals with the teacher.
I could play piano.
Yeah, I do too.
But instead, I was creaking the boards, and then I just kind of like there was a series of small projects being shot in Texas. And I hooked up with a regional casting director named Liz Kegley and Sherry Rhodes, and they would cast everything. that was shooting in Texas. So I was like the go-to kid for 1980 and 1981. And then when E.T. came about, I suddenly was on the map, and my phone was ringing, and then I've just been chasing that high ever since, man.
Yeah, what a high, too. I got to say, Henry, and this was, I was talking to my wife about it, and she feels really close to you, too, because like I said, you're one of the stars that we grew up with. And how did you not fall into the child actor jinx? Because you didn't. You were never in that group. Never even considered in that group. You were an amazing child actor. You came out, you banged it away on E.T., right? The whole world fell in love with you. And now, all the way up through your career, and to now, as a successful man, adult, you're a great actor. How does one keep themselves like that? Was it your parents, you think, not pushing you into role after role, or how was that?
Yeah, I think that had a little bit to do with it. It also just happened that, I was never, as a kid, I was never really prepossessed to sort of be famous. Like, being famous was sort of not desirable to me ever, including now. Like, I really like my anonymity as it is,
Right.
I like going to the grocery store, doing all that. It's fun to work, and it's fun to do these projects. And I love acting. It's a passion of mine, but I've never really been a good businessman, and I think that's probably why it's worked out.
That's so two of us. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. You don't have to sell yourself all the time. Right. Yeah. That's curious.
No, I've got a pretty like average opinion of myself, so yeah. I don't really. I've never really bought into that world, and it was never really my world.
Yeah. I was always, because I drew inspiration from you, believe it or not. I've been on the air 12 years doing this podcast, and we've had Dan Aykroyd on, amazing actors like yourself over the years. I've been blessed, but I drew inspiration from you. And while I was studying up for this interview, somebody, I forget who it was, you were doing an interview at some conference, and a guy asked you, who have you got inspiration from when you were on screen? And I'm thinking, he's going to talk about the greats or whatever. But no, you talked about this kid in a Russian movie. Who gives you inspiration? Because that triggered in my mind, because I've done television. I was the host of A&E Television's Extreme Paranormal. It ran for one season and got canceled, and I was straight back to blue collar working. You want to talk about bum, brother?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's happened to the best of us, Yeah. It's just, but I think, that's part of it. Like, you take your lumps and you realize that it's not a gimme, and, you have to draw inspiration from other performers, or maybe not. You have to draw inspiration from something. And I think, having setbacks and having disappointments in your career, that's all part of it. And it's necessary. It makes you a better person. I honestly believe that. I think it also makes you a better performer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that just don't relate. They don't relate to anything because they're either too famous, or they've had it their own way for too long, or
right.
It's been easy, or whatever. It's an interesting thing. I think failure is a necessary part of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was so wild because you grew up in Texas. I'm here in the cornfields of Indiana. So when Hollywood started calling because they heard this show, and they said, hey, you're funny, and you got a little bit of skill, let's put you on TV. I thought, oh my God, I've been discovered, and all of a sudden you're on
yeah.
TV, man. And all of a sudden you're back to work at the 9-to-5er. And, but there was one scene, I was standing in a swamp, Manchac Swamp in Louisiana, and I was doing this scene, and I had the director. I have no acting class. I took some acting in high school, but I had no teachers or anything. So it was from you. Actors like you that I'd grown up with, and I thought about you in Legends of the Falls.
No, that's why. That's why you got canceled.
No.
Pages out of my book.
Hey, man, look it up on YouTube. It was a strong scene. No, but there was this one scene, and I took it from you, from Legends, of the Fall, when you were standing there and you always keep that straight face, but you have a commanding, voice. And that's who I told the director I wanted to be like. I said, listen, I want to be like Henry Thomas in this part and I did it. I pulled it off. I said, this is why we came. And I kept the face. You got to see it. It's epic. It's epic. No, brother, but I want to thank you. You've been such good inspiration for me over the years. And I want you to talk a little bit about the people that inspired you growing up.
Well, my mom was a big cinephile. Like, she used to watch old films a lot, and I consequently watched them too, and so I grew up kind of watching all these old Hollywood stars, like, I don't know, William Powell and Clark Gable, and all these leading men guys like Gary Cooper and
Strong Silent,
and I was always, and I always thought, those are kind of the guys, those are the movie stars like Jimmy Stewart, like Gregory Peck. And so, then of course, Harrison Ford coming on the screen in Star Wars or Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I'm right there with you.
I thought, man, that guy's cool.
Yeah.
I could, I would like to be like that guy. And so Harrison Ford and these kind of tough guy, / sensitive types, that was always kind of the semaphore for me in acting. I liked the guys who were kind of vulnerable but still intense. And then when I got older, my dad and my mom would kind of be like, oh yeah, look at James Dean, or look at these guys, and this was really cool when we were, in high school or something. And so a lot of the inspiration I drew off of was stuff that I was exposed to. But when I started working, I had a chance to work with some really great actors like Sissy Spacek and Eric Roberts, Sam Shepard, my first movie. And they kind of set the bar pretty high for me in terms of what I looked for in other performers. And I worked with Gene Hackman as a kid. And to this day, I still reference him in everything that I do.
Oh yeah, Gene.
Because he taught me so much, just about technical skill and, good habits in terms of what to do in a scene. And those sorts of experiences are invaluable. You can't get those anywhere. You can't get them in a classroom. And,
no, man.
Having never been to a classroom in terms of acting, that was worth its weight in gold for me.
Right. Did you never take acting classes at all, Henry? Just natural?
Yeah, I never did. It's always.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's not strictly true. In high school, I was in the drama department, and we did a bunch of plays and things like that. But I never went to Lee Strasberg or anything like that. I was always just kind of on the job training.
You were a Texas boy. You were just a cowboy. I mean, that's what happened, right?
I was. Yeah. I pursued it because I got lucky in the beginning, and it turned into something that was real. But I don't think if I hadn't had the early success or the continued success, I don't know that I would have kept up with acting.
I wanted to ask you because one thing that's curious to me is you're such a normal guy. When I grew up in the 70s and 80s, I thought this magical land of Hollywood, all these child actors. I would watch the ABC Weekend Special, and I always wanted to be one of the actors in that. And I always would find out that they grew up in Burbank or out in California, and they all went to these Hollywood-type schools, but you didn't. What was that like, being in such a iconic film like E.T. as a kid, and going back to a normal school with normal people? I mean, were you like the big king on campus or what?
I was more of an anomaly, I think.
Okay.
I wasn't. It wasn't cool. It was kind of weird because it wasn't part of that world at all.
Oh wow!
Because I went to a very rural, kind of regional public school that was in a largely agricultural community.
Farmers.
So, lots of farmers and ranchers and, people who dealt with, land-based stuff like irrigation. And,
Right.
Families like this. And so, yeah, it was kind of one of those things that nobody could quite wrap their around.
Right.
So I was just a token weirdo, I think.
Man, that's crazy. I would have thought your life would have been so easy after that because when you're a regular...
Well, I mean, it was in a lot of ways, but, it's kind of weird when you're like 12 years old and people are calling you Hollywood or making jokes about it.
Right.
I mean? So,
phone home, Elliot. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I got that like in the halls every day of my life.
Oh man, that's crazy. When I was doing my research, I found out some cool facts. Like you weren't able, because you were so young, you couldn't handle the weight of the basket scene. With like E.T. in there, so they had a BMX.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. They had the thing was like it was like 40 pounds of foam and like pipes in this basket, this milk crate.
Right?
All right. So yeah, at 10 years old, I couldn't handle that. Like I just didn't have the upper body strength to start the bike off and keep it going.
Yeah, and
So yeah, they brought these BMX guys in, and Robert McNaughton, who played my brother Michael in the film, he and I do conventions quite a bit, and he always laughs about my double, the BMX double, because his legs were like 3 times the size of my legs. It's like, yeah, all of a sudden Elliot went bionic.
Cue music, yeah, Bionic Man. Oh, that was cool, man. To find out those facts, though. I mean, just such an iconic movie. I mean, nobody could ever take that away from you, and everybody has such fond memories. But I wanted to jump right into the latest thing you did, the Netflix smash hit, The Haunting of Hill House. I mean, it's amazing. It blew Netflix away. I mean, let's face it, it was a ratings score for them, and I watched it twice already. My wife watched it, and it's amazing the way it was done. Now, I want to jump into, let me be nerd boy here. Let me be fanboy with you, Henry. I want to jump into some fan theories, because I've been reading them since I finished back in October, the series. One, I know you're not going to be able to say much, because Kate Siegel came on and said her husband, she couldn't tell us, we'd have to interview him, if there was going to be a follow-up to The Haunting of Hill House. And I'm sure you can't say anything either, right?
Well, I know that, there's a season 2 that's going to happen.
Really?
But I don't know exactly what that's going to entail, I don't know if it's going to be, I don't think it's going to have anything to do with the cranes anymore, but I don't really know for sure.
Oh, wow. You just broke that news live.
Actually, kind of the last one.
Right.
To know,
This could be huge, Henry. You could have just got me skyrocketed to fame because you broke that news live on the Shadow Nation, man. Give me something else. Give me something juicy, huh? No, yeah, that's such good news, man, because I was crazy about it. I was like, please don't let this be the end. But then again, it was such a sweet ending. how, you went from old to young, and then you turned and you walked in the room with the red door. Now, one of the fan theories, the red door, symbolic, the black mold. Here's one. Fan theory says the ghosts do not exist. That everyone knows black mold is toxic and can cause hallucinations, etc., etc. What do you think? Not as, from the insider, but what do you think as Henry about that idea?
That's like Hugh Crane's perfect storm right there.
Right.
He loves that theory. Hugh Crane, it's all about the black mold.
Right.
If you haven't noticed.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I think that there's a supernatural element to the,
And as Steven says in the series, a preternatural
element to the house. And so I think the red room and the mold and the ghosts and everything, I think that they're all, kind of tentacles from the same beast.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it would take something away if you got rid of the spooks and you just said, okay, the whole family's hallucinated. It takes something away. But everybody, here's fan theory number 2. Luke, at the end, when he's blowing out his birthday cake, or not birthday cake, when he's blowing out his 2 years sober cake, the icing's all red. People go all into this, right? But they say the icing's red. The dress was red. Shoes were red. And the door was red, of course. And they think that the family's still asleep in that room. That the house is still eating the Crane family, sucking their souls, if you will. What do you think about that theory?
I think, this too could be a product of the twisted mind of Mike Flanagan.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Henry said nothing, Mikey. Henry said nothing on the show. Hey, do you got any idea, Henry, when we can expect the second coming of Hill House?
I haven't heard anything other than like vague whispers on the wind, but I think at the earliest it would be in the fall, but I don't know that that's going to happen. I'm just guessing. It would be late this year or next spring, probably. I'm sure it depends on when Netflix wants to board it.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, man, that was some of your greatest work, and I love what you've done and everything, but you just brought it home. It's just something that, plus I love Ghost. I mean, we do, amazing actors like you on here from horror genre, stuff like that, and we also have people on from the paranormal, like the Catholic priest that performed The Exorcist in the Rite, the actual guy it was based on. So we try to cover all those areas, and this is going to segue into something important. And I hope it opens up a little, but I read, huh?
Oh, no, I just said awesome.
Yeah, well, I read a little piece on you. Not only did you do Haunting of Hill House, but you moved in to a haunted house of your own. Can you break it down just a little bit and tell us about that when you were younger?
Yeah, I did have a weird experience. Not personally, but I've never
Seen a ghost or anything like that.
Right.
But my mother was, very, very vocal about, seeing things and feeling things and all of this. And I always kind of thought, she's crazy. But she was staying at my house in Los Angeles for a few weeks one time. And she said, "Oh, do you know, Henry, there's a ghost in your basement?" I said, "No." Didn't know that. I've been down there to check the furnace a couple of times. But no ghosts. I didn't see any ghosts. And I just kind of chalked it up to whatever.
Yeah.
A few months later, independently, this telephone repairman guy shows up and goes down in the basement and comes out and says, "Oh, do you know there's a ghost in the basement?" So then I was kind of like, well, maybe Mom, maybe she's not all batty.
Not putting her away yet, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I never saw the ghost. I just heard about it.
Wow. You still have the house? Was there a history of the house? Did you research it at all? Anybody die there or anything like that?
No, there's nothing like that. But, you know, I don't own the house anymore. You know, I sold it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But that's my one and only ghost story.
Your spook story, man. Yeah, Texas has got some great ones, too, where you grew up, Ed. But, hey, real quick, I'm not going to harp on it, but, you know, I love ghost stuff. Did your mom explain what it looked like, or did the repairman kind of say it's a man, it's a woman? A clock repairman?
Well, the clock repairman with a handlebar mustache.
That's it.
No, it was, my mom, like, went into great detail, but she was always like that. So she said there was a guy in a suit with a hat who was kind of proud of some machinery or something that was in the basement.
Oh, wow.
But the telephone repairman guy just said, "Oh, do you know there's a ghost in your basement?"
I got to move out to L.A., man. I don't know if I could handle it from the cornfields to L.A., but, you know. I don't know,
well,
man.
You never know.
I don't know. I was out in Santa Monica doing voiceover stuff. Oh, God, it was, I don't know, March, and it's like a different world out there to me, Henry. And I think I can relate to you like that, coming from Texas, me coming from Indiana. Every time I'm out there, whatever little gig I get for TV or whatever, I feel so out of place. I mean, I love it. It's a cool vibe, but man, is it hard to find your place there. You know what I mean?
It is not it's not an easy city to sink into for a number of reasons, but
yeah, I just don't know.
And it depends on, you know, where you're coming from and how you're coming there and whatever.
Yeah.
But LA is, you know, it's a different animal, but it's a great place, actually.
Yeah. I don't even know. I mean, my hat goes off to all you amazing actors that do that. And I always ask, and I'm going to ask you, like I asked Mike Rooker and Scott Wilson, who recently passed away. They came on the show, and I always ask, what was some of your favorite, or some of your first jobs, the ones you hated, and what was your lowest moment when you were like, man, I'm never going to make it in acting. I'm going to have to look at Plan B. Because that's what I do. So, like I said, I'm right back from TV, right? Because I was trying to be like you on screen, remember? And then my TV's, I know, that's why you said my show got canceled. No, I'm kidding. But, yeah, you said that. But, no, I always ask, man, what was one of your first jobs? Like, how did you make it up from Texas? Did you move out to LA and start struggling? How'd that happen?
You know, I went to New York first. When I was about 18 or 19, because my last talent agent, Heidi Powers, who passed away back in the 90s, she was in New York, and I had some connections there still. And I didn't really have a lot of ties in LA. So I went to New York for a few months, and felt kind of out of my league, and you know, I kept trying to get into these auditions and not having much luck. And then when I did get in, it was always kind of like they wanted something really specific, and it was either something totally not new or you know, some kind of like caricature New York sort of person, you know. And they kept telling me like I had a Midwest vibe or whatever. Go to California, kid, basically.
Yeah.
And so I did. And then I landed a couple of roles in between there, like, but I landed a part in Fire in the Sky, which was a studio film.
Yeah. Fire in the Sky, the alien film?
Yeah. About Travis Walton and the Snowflake, Arizona, you know, incident.
Yeah, man. I didn't even know you were in that. Great flick.
Yeah. I was in that. I played this kind of one of the logging crew. This kid named Greg Hayes, who was kind of like a conglomerate character taken from he's just kind of thrown together from a few existing historical guys.
That's right. You were on the crew.
But
yeah,
I was on the crew. Yeah,
that's it. You're right. Jesus,
me, Sweeney, Bradley Gregg. Gosh, I'm gonna blank on names. Craig Sheffer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing flick,
and,
man.
Robert Patrick. Yeah, Robert Patrick.
Yep.
Who's the lead?
Yeah, man.
That was right after Terminator 2.
And that's when it exploded, right out from New York, and then you started junking around L.A., huh? Went out for work?
Yeah, and then I went to L.A., and I got that part, and then the next year I got Legends of the Fall.
Oh, yeah.
Which really kind of relaunched my young adult career,
Yeah. What did you do in between? Was it like waiting tables? Were you doing theater, stuff like that?
No, I did a little bit of theater and just kind of, really I wasn't doing much. I was playing some music. I was in a band, and I was kind of playing around Texas.
Oh, yeah, the Blue Hills.
Yeah, Blue Healers.
Blue Healers, yeah. Truck Stop Coffee. Good songs, man. I mean, it was a good band.
Hey, all right, man, all right. Yeah, so I basically just kind of, I had like this post-high school girlfriend that I was seeing, and I just kind of stuck around Texas for a while, and then I went to New York and then out to L.A., and I ended up L.A. Off and on, just kind of back and forth from Texas to L.A. I had a room in somebody's apartment in Studio City somewhere.
Right.
And I was slipping a little cash every month, and then I had like a guitar and some underwear there. I would just drive by.
$4,000 a month for a toilet and a cot. Yeah, that's it, man. That's L.A.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. You said something.
I would just drive out and stay for a couple of weeks and audition, and that was it.
That was it. And then you go back. The thing you said, it kind of caught me. We're kind of anomalies, right? Us Midwest, they think we got these Midwest vibes. They stared at me like I was an alien the first time I went out there for that TV project. I mean, I thought they were going to have me dance like the Dancing Bear.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I would go into auditions sometimes, and they would be like, "Hey, do you have a song, kid? Can you dance?" And it's like, it was still like kind of like vaudeville.
Yeah, bring out your chicken, kid. Yeah,
yeah. I was always thrown off by that.
Yeah, man.
Because I couldn't dance and I couldn't really sing. So
yeah,
just sort of. I'm there for the acting.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Henry, I got to ask you, though. Are you still with Far Speaker?
Yeah, I mean, we're still... I just jammed with the guys, like, last Sunday. So
okay,
we still play together. We have an album we're releasing. We recorded it, like, last year, but I finished recording it last year, but we're going to release it pretty soon.
Oh, I got to get it.
And yeah, so I'm still playing with those guys.
That's sweet, man. I got to get your album. I love the sound. I love the feel to it. It's not country. It's not all rock. It's what do they call it? Rockabilly. It's got a unique sound, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of. Our influences are basically like Pavement, The Replacements.
Definitely Replacements. Yeah.
Bands like Mott the Hoople and stuff like that. So
right.
It's a little bit more guitar driven and old school rock.
Yeah, well, you guys nail it.
Rock.
Let me tell you, because I think it's amazing. I don't know how you guys aren't everywhere. Are you guys touring anytime soon?
No, we don't have anything really booked. We're just kind of we've been kind of putting off releasing this album just out of middle age, lack of motivation.
Hey, I'm right there with you. I'm fighting it though, brother. I'm fighting it. You're my inspiration.
Everybody has a day job, you know. Like nobody's 20 years old and like willing to stay overnight and record the album in Steve's garage anymore.
Right, on 45-minute sleep and right back to work. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. But hey, I tell you, Henry, I love you, man. I followed you since you were a kid, and I was a kid. We kind of grew up together, and always been a big fan of yours, and I support everything you do.
Well, Sean, thank you so much, and thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. It's great to talk to you about all this stuff.
Dude, anytime. Hey, what's up next for Henry? Anything big coming up in the works you can tell us about?
Yes.
I've written a novel, and it's being published in the spring. It's called The Window and the Mirror, and it's the first of a series of books set in this fantasy world where humankind and goblinkind are enmeshed in a war.
Nice. The Window in the Moon.
And the Mirror. Yeah, The Window and the Mirror.
In the Mirror.
It's called.
Right on. And that's going to be out when?
It's going to be out
April of 2019.
2019. Definitely keep an eye out for that, man. Anything else?
And Far Speaker's upcoming album. And I'm going to be working with Mike Flanagan, I hope, again very soon. And, you know, I'm also working on the DC Universe streaming platform on a show called Stargirl, where I am playing the Golden Age superhero Dr. Midnight.
Oh, that's big, Henry. That's huge, man.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It's good, right?
That is.
It's
Congratulations.
all right, Sean. It's going all right.
Yeah, it's smooth, brother. It's running good. Our Shadow Nation, what an amazing night. Mr. Henry Thomas, of course, from E.T., Legends of the Fall, Ouija, Origin of Evil, and, of course, the Netflix smash series, The Haunting of Hill House. Be sure to look out for his new book in 2019, Window and the Mirror, and, of course, the Far Speaker, the new album coming out in 2019 also.
Hey, this is Joe Bob Briggs, and you're listening to Sean and Nate on Shadow Nation.
Okay, Shadow Nation, welcome back to the studio. Man, what an amazing guest. Man, and he just aired it out right there live on the show. The Haunting Hill House will be returning. Guys, he said it right here. It will be returning. I don't think anybody else, I've looked that up on the internet. No one said that it'd definitely be back. There's been talks about it. Nobody knows the angle it's going to take. And he said that he didn't really know the angle either, but he did confirm that it will be back. So, Henry Thomas, thanks for everything, brother. Big fan, and I wish you and the family the very best Christmas ever. Anyway, guys, I wanted to tell you a little bit about what's going on here in the new year, right here at the end of the year. Nathan and I have done, of course, it came from the Ghostman Demon Hunter show, now Shadow Nation. ShadowNation.com is our home. We're going to be doing separate episodes due to life and schedules. Nathan and I had to kind of go on our own. We'll be doing occasional shows together, but to get the actual show out to you guys, we had to split them up. So there'll be Shadow Nation with Sean Burris, and there'll be Shadow Nation with Nathan Schoonover. And it just had to be that way because our schedules are just so crazy. You know how it is. Life, kids. The show will go on. It'll just be in a different direction. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on here. So Christmas is up, right? It's right around the corner. And I was looking for, and most of us married guys or guys with girlfriends or you girls with boyfriends or husbands, you're always looking for the perfect holiday gift, right? You never know. You try to pick up clues throughout the year, and sometimes they stick, sometimes they don't. But this year, I'm really proud of myself. I got the wife, Alexa, the Echo, you know, the big one, the big tower. She was always talking about, when I make grocery lists, you guys need to put this on the list. You need to tell me what's up. I never know. And, you know, she needs help. Sometimes she's cooking something and she doesn't know how. She'll have to go Google it. And this way, You have a daily planner. You can walk in the kitchen and say, Alexa, what's up? And it tells you the date, time, the current events, what's going on, where's traffic jams, etc., etc. So I was really proud of myself. But, I started looking into it and I tried it out. It is kind of spooky, and I looked up the top 5 creepy Amazon Echo, Alexa Echo conspiracy theories. And I was reading through, of course, there's always conspiracy theories, but it said at number 1, Alexa is always listening. Do you guys know that? I guess it is, but you have to say Alexa, and then it'll answer you. But it says Amazon got a lot of heat, I guess, with the Alexa because it started randomly laughing, and even creepier, I guess, was when she started to say things that were extremely personal and at unexpected moments. Apparently, this was such a huge problem, the company had to step in and fix these bugs and even disable the laughing command due to how many people were affected by it. Yeah, I guess that is creepy. All of a sudden, your robot in your kitchen is laughing at you. But, the Amazon Echo was intended to always be plugged in and always be turned on. The far-field voice recognition system was designed to respond to various prompts, blah, blah, blah. But, it's pretty creepy when you think about it. Amazon makes it clear, of course, that Alexa will only record information when its awake word is said. However, what they often don't mention is that she records a few seconds of audio prior to the wake word command. In fact, if you go to the voice recording history on Amazon or in the Alexa app, you're going to find some things on there that you wish they didn't keep track of. Yeah. And it makes you wonder what else Echo keeps track of. I've seen those videos like on YouTube. A guy will go, Alexa, are you recording me or playing me back to the CIA? And it'll shut off. Stuff like that. And I guess the kids, we'll look that up, the 3 a.m. challenge. I guess what's the deal with the kids in the 3 a.m. challenge? Everything happens at 3 a.m. I know it's supposed to be the witching hour. For my ghost experience, 3 a.m., that's the, I think in some of the movies and stuff, they say that's the opposite of when Christ was crucified. So it's in defiance of that. But I don't know. Everything's at 3 a.m. So apparently the evil, demonic world is happening at 3 a.m. So I guess we'll check that out. And we'll have to do some experience live on the show here. The FBI can access your smart speaker. When the FBI wanted to unlock the San Bernardino shooter's iPhone, it began a massive conversation on the government interference into people's private data. While it's made sense to unlock a terrorist's phone to find out more about them, it did leave the door open for more government surveillance into anyone's life. And of course, what you see, what they did to the president this last term, nothing's out of bounds here, man. And, Edward Snowden, the NSA, he said they've been recording this for years. It's kind of creepy, but God, can you imagine the person's job that's listening to all of us? I'm sure they have different sectors, different people, but who wants to know what I got for dinner? What pizza place delivers, when you're in my kitchen? Huh. I would hate to have that job. That'd be terrible. What did the ghost man do today? Well, he ordered a pizza at noon, and then he argued with the wife for 15 minutes, and then he had to go back to work, and, he has a dentist appointment on Tuesday. No top government secrets there to help out the feds. So people are saying that, the NSA and everybody's spying on us through Alexa. That's the way it goes. The Echo is an ad for Amazon. What if I told you the Echo was also intended to be an ad for Amazon.com? There's enough compelling evidence that the Echo was introduced so that more people would buy into Amazon ecosystem. And I did notice that. If you say, hey, play this song by whoever, it'll say, oh, that's cool. Make sure to go to Amazon Music, blah, blah, blah. And, what it's going to do is tell you, hey, sign up for this. It's $2 a month or $12 or whatever. And you can listen to any song you want. So yeah, it's kind of ongoing commercial, I guess. So you pay for more commercial product. The Echo made Jeff Bezos the richest person in the world. Do you guys know that? Jeff Bezos is now the richest person in the world with an estimated net worth of $120 billion and climbing. It's pretty cool. I like it. So if the government's listening, whatever, The Amazon Echo knows everything about you. Number 5, guys. Amazon has so much data about you that it may know even more than the Facebook or Google does. It knows what type of chocolate milk you like. There's different brands. Still chocolate milk, but different brands. Your shopping history alone provides Amazon with so many data points that they could easily formulate a profile on everything you like or dislike and who you are. Now with Alexa in your home, they know so much more. Just think about it. Alexa responds to every and any request to give her, whether it be intentional or not. She can record seconds of audio before a command, which could easily give her even more info you don't want her knowing. So there you go, guys. There is the conspiracy theories that the government's listening to you. And, I mean, seriously, that'd be a boring job. I don't get it. I don't know. I doubt the government has that much time. If you're suspected of something, they probably do. But, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe they do. Anyway, here's another story about it. Reddit.com did something. What's your creepy Alexa story? This first guy says his wife and him were playing 20 questions, and spoiler alert, our answer was pig. We got through until the end, and Alexa guessed Bessengy. Now, I don't know how many of you know what Bessengy is, but they're very rare, barkless dogs, and I happen to have one. We bought some theme things off Amazon before, so it's either that or she's listening. But I mean, come on. She didn't even say dog. Straight to Bessengy. Anyone else have similar stories? That's what they say. This other person says, apparently my aunt was in the living room and Alexa was in the kitchen, and one day, at the other end of the room, she just said the name Alexa. Where are my keys? And Alexa said, have you tried under the couch? I said, you're a GD witch. Dude, my keys were under the couch. I'm going to have to try all this. Anyway, guys, you guys get the point. Very creepy. You got the laughter. You got the 3 a.m. challenge. What is the deal with the 3 a.m. challenge? Do you guys know? You need to email shadownation.com. I want to hear what you guys, your creepy 3 a.m. challenge things from your kids, or if you've done it. The 3 a.m. challenge. Let's check this out. This comes from netsanity.net. That's not confusing. The 3 a.m. challenge, what parents need to know. The latest social media challenge may be keeping your younger children up at night. It's called the 3 a.m. challenge. What is the 3 a.m. challenge, you might ask? The 3 a.m. challenge is a recent social media dare that is making its way around on YouTube. In this particular online challenge, participants attempt to perform a specific task at 3 in the morning. They attempt things like calling strangers on the phone, calling God, or even playing with fidget spinners to see if a ghost or spirit from the other side respond on camera. According to some of the various, I hate fidget spinners. They went out, didn't they? Somebody made billions off of them, and now they went bye-bye. I see them every once in a while at the kiosk in the mall. Yeah. Some guys selling them in the middle of the mall for, 25 cents now. They used to be like $14, all the way up to like 30. Anyway, according to some of the various video posted, if you spin the fidget spinner 3 times in a row, right at 3 a.m., you'll get a phone call from a stranger, or potentially other creepy things may happen in the room. Many of these videos have gained millions of views on YouTube. Why 3 a.m., you might ask? Apparently, some people call it the witching or devil's hour. See, I told you. Let's see who started it. Apparently, YouTube creators like Jason, whatever, who has a channel on YouTube. His channel is I'm Jay Station. Another popular YouTuber who has been associated with the same type of creepy video challenges, Ruby Rube. Her videos have become pretty popular on YouTube. With children around the world, she has made various 3 a.m. videos, many of which have gotten over 1 million views. I guess her most popular one is talking to Siri, calling her school at 3 a.m. in the morning, or even receiving a call from a ghost girl. Here's a picture of her. She looks like she's 12. Do not play Bloody Mary at 3 a.m. Oh my God, so scary. They're still doing that, Bloody Mary? That's a classic. Classic. It's kind of spooky, though. When you're in the mirror in dark room, remember? It says, what can parents do? First off, I think you can calm down a little bit. You know what I mean? Anyway. Apparently, if you're a parent, as you can imagine, these videos, while entertaining, can be disturbing at bedtime for younger children. We always recommend talking to your children about how these videos are not real and should not be taken seriously. If viewing YouTube videos have become a problem, Net Sanity offers parents some options. Parents can utilize Time Blocker to either hide the YouTube app or block internet access to YouTube during these times. All right. Well, either one's going to make your kid unhappy, but I like to do the other approach. I've never kept anything from my kid. Well, age-appropriate stuff, of course, but now my daughter's 8. That's my youngest kid, 8, 12, and now on to just turned 17, so I've never kept it from them. Like The Exorcist, I've allowed them to watch it. Of course, I clicked out some parts, like the, masturbation with the crucifix thing. That had to go bye-bye. But, I don't want to keep them from horror. It's the same to me as comedy, drama. Horror is right there. I want them to know the difference between reality and stuff that's not realistic, stuff that's phony, So, I think it's working. I think we're okay. I don't know. But anyway, guys, that's it. Alexa, the jury's still out. You guys tell me what you think. ShadowNation.com. Go to the website. Email us. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Shadow Nation, because we'd love to hear from you. And I know this is going to be a quick show today, guys, because we had Henry on, and he took up some time, and he was well worth it. I'd let him have run of the mill. But I want to get this out there to you guys on this Christmas. It's been a great Christmas. I hope you guys have had a terrific Christmas. And I don't know. They go so fast, right? I got to make it so short today because I got to run out and do another family thing. So ding, ding, ding. You're running all over the neighborhood getting it done. Anyway, special thanks to our guest, Henry Thomas. Of course, E.T., Legends of the Falls, Gang of New York, and the Netflix smash series, The Haunting of Hill House. And I'm going to take this opportunity to close out the show and say special thanks to all our homes, all our sponsors, Stitcher, Smart Radio, Spreaker, the world's listening. How about you? They want to know, so check them out, Spreaker.com. Of course, Creative Zombie Studios, be the best, be creative, CreativeZombie.com. Our buddies, the SWL Project, give, share. Everybody needs that good old love. Check them out, the SWLproject.org. From the haunted back roads of America, this has been another exclusive Christmas edition of the Shadow Nation. Don't go changing America. You know we won't, because I love you. Good night, everybody.